I'll fix it. Yeah, thank you. Just need to turn it. That's it. That's yeah. That can be lowered. Right? Yeah, just need to tightening it. Just tighten it. Just yeah, that's good. I think. Yeah, thank you so much.
Matches you.
Thank you so much. Hare Krishna. जयो राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपी जन बल्लभ गिरिवर धारी। जयो राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपी जन बल्लभ गिरिवर धारी। यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजना यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजना। यमुना तीरावन चारी यमुना तीरावन चारी। जयो राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपीजन बल्लभ गिरिवर धारी। यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजना यमुना तीरावन चारी। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम Ram Ram Hare 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 Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jayo Radha Kala Chanji Radha Kala Chanji Radhe Jayo Radha Govinda Radha Govinda Radhe Jayo Jagannath, Jayo Jagannath, Jayo Baladeva, Jayo Subhadra Maya. Jayo Subhadra, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol. Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur. Jayo Jayo Prabhupada, 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 Jayo Jayo Prabhupada. Jai Prabhupada, Prabhupada. Jayo Jayo Gurudev, 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 Jayo Jayo Gurudev. Jai Gurudev, Gurudev. Nitai Gaur Premanande. Jayo Jayo Shri Chaitanya, Jayo Nityananda, Jai Advaita Chandra, Jayo Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Chandra Jayo Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Jayo Jayo Shri Chaitanya, Jayo Nityananda, Jai Advaita Chandra, Jayo Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Jayo Jayo Shri Chaitanya, Jayo Nityananda, Jai Advaita Chandra, Jayo Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Shri Chaitanya Charitamrit ki, Srila Prabhupada ki, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami ki jai. So like every Monday, we will be reading Chaitanya Charitamrita. I'll say my prayers. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana-shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namah Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupah Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Namo Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamin Iti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jayo Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivas Adi Gaura Bhakta Brinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ramo 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 Hare Hare. Praying at the lotus feet of my spiritual master, our dear Srila Prabhupada, and all the Guru Vargas, may I speak few words in the glorification of our dear Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, none other than Shri Krishna himself. For the pleasure of the Vaishnavas and for my very own purification, Vancha Kalpatarubhyasya Kripa Sindhubhyevacha Patitanam Pavnebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Nama Mukum Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langayate Girim Yat Kripatamaham Vande Shri Gurundi Natarinam Shri Chaitanya Ishwaram Paramananda Madhavam. कथांचन स्मृते अस्मिन् दुष्करं सुकरं भवेद् विस्मृते विपरीतं स्यात् श्री चैतन्य नमामि त्वम्. Adi 14:1. Things that are very difficult to do become easy to execute if one somehow or the other simply remembers Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. But if one doesn't remember him, even easy things become very difficult. To this Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu I offer my respectful obeisances. So we are in the chapter, this is Madhya, chapter 8, talks between the Lord and Ramananda Rai. We'll start from verse 72. So little recap that now Mahaprabhu finally met Rai Ramananda in a more private setting, more secluded a place. And they started discussing, which Mahaprabhu would not discuss otherwise with general public. And we see it's among other devotees also. When the sannyasis, they talk together, it's a complete different topic than what they talk in. If you hear Srila Prabhupada's most of the lecture, even on Bhagavatam, he talks so much about Bhagavad Gita and then other day he was speaking and he said, okay, of course we do not discuss all this. This is not for public, he would say. So we know that there are many confidential or guhyam topic, subject matter, when only exalted devotees can understand and only exalted devotees can speak. As it says, like it takes one to know one, like that. So now Rai Ramananda and Mahaprabhu, they are on the same platform, same understanding, same love for Krishna. Of course, Mahaprabhu is way more ahead in loving Krishna, but to understand, Mahaprabhu is in the mood of Radharani and Rai Ramananda is Vishakha Sakhi. So, they are the Sakhis meeting and talking about intimate things, intimate topic, exalted topic of about Krishna and his pastimes. So now Mahaprabhu is asking, tell me about Krishna Katha, I want to hear from you, please talk. And then Rai Ramananda, he starts from the very basics of Varnashram. What are the different ashramas, what are the different, the sannyasi, the different orders and the different caste. And then Mahaprabhu says, this is bhajjo, this is outside, external. It's not that it is irrelevant, but there's something more, go ahead. And then he will keep pushing and he will go on saying external. And then, right now today we will read. Last Monday we have started talking about how Rai Ramananda finally started talking about the loving devotional service, loving relationship between the devotee and the Lord. And hearing this, Mahaprabhu gets a little pacified and he says, this is true, you're coming there, but please keep moving. And from today we will, if time permits, if we could go through the verses that I'm thinking of, then we will see what is the ultimate one. And Prabhupada gives very, very important, simple but very important lines to understand the position of the exalted position of the ultimate goal of life. And so there we are. So I'll just read. So right now, he just started speaking about the devotional service, the loving exchange between, and when Mahaprabhu started saying yes, and then Rai Ramananda continues supporting that. Yannama shruti matrena puman bhavati nirmala tasya tirtha pada kimva dasanam avishishyate. Translation purport by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. You want to repeat, Prabhu? No, you want to read the verse? I mean, whatever you are comfortable. 72. Yeah. Yannama shruti matrena puman bhavati nirmala tasya tirtha pada kimba dasanam avashishyate. Translation. A man becomes purified simply by hearing the holy name of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, whose lotus feet create the holy places of pilgrimage. Therefore, what remains to be attained by those who have become his servants. So we are talking about spontaneous love. So this love, when we say there is one is spontaneous, one is regulative. Regulative is when we start under the spiritual master and under the guidance of the other devotees, the seniors, and they tell us, okay, you're supposed to do this, and we do that. You're not supposed to do this. We don't do that. Like Anukulle, whatever is, in favor of Krishna and Krishna conscious activities which are in favor of Krishna consciousness, we do this and reject the things that we are not supposed to do, which are not good for Krishna consciousness. And we are totally, we are like guided, we are like totally under the control of spiritual master, and we throughout remain actually, but like we are told to do what things, and they, even if we don't have the taste for it, maybe sitting for a Bhagavatam class or anything for that matter, even if we may not have the taste for it, but because we are told, because this is the way to get Krishna consciousness, we follow it. And what happens eventually, you keep doing it, and then it's called Raganuga Bhakti. Then you have the attachment, and then nobody has to tell you anything. You will do it, but you will still be under bona fide spiritual master, chanting your 16 rounds, etc. But that time it is spontaneous. So Rai Ramananda is mentioning, if in the previous verse 71, he is talking about, read the translation, hearing to the point of spontaneous love, the Lord said, "This is all right, but if you know more, please tell me." In reply, Rai Ramananda said, spontaneous loving service in servitude as exchanged by master and the servant is the highest perfection. So right now we are talking about the first rasa. There are 5 preliminary rasas. One is servant and master, then friendship, then the first, servant and, no, first is neutral actually. First is neutral, then servant and master, then parental, and then friendship, or rather friendship and then parental, and then the conjugal, the loving, the madhurya ras, conjugal love. Again, in conjugal love there are different categories, but whatever Mahaprabhu talks, we will talk about that. And so if you see, we are not starting with neutral. Out of the primary preliminary 5 rasas, first is neutral, like Shanta rasa it's called. We are talking directly from servant and the master. And Prabhupada will say what's there and what's not there, what's lacking, Prabhupada will say in that each rasa until we reach conjugal love. So, hearing this Dasya ras, that's what Rai Ramananda is mentioning about Dasya ras. So this verse and the purport is supporting that. This quotation is from Srimad Bhagavatam, that is 72 text we are referring to, 9.5.16, and is an admission by the great sage Durvasa Muni. Durvasa Muni, a caste Brahmana, Durvasa Muni, a caste Brahmana and a great yogi, used to hate Maharaj Amrish. When he decided to chastise Maharaj Amrish through his yogic powers, he was chased by the Sudarshan Chakra of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. When things were settled, he said, when the holy name of the Supreme Personality of Godhead is heard by any person, that person is immediately sanctified. The Supreme Lord is the master of the devotees, and the devotees under his shelter naturally come to own his opulence. So, talking about master and servant, so we know the story of Durvasa Muni, how Durvasa Muni wanted to test Maharaj Amrish, and he had fasted for Ekadashi for entire 1 year. And when it was time to break, if it doesn't break at that time, it will be again another year. So he had to break. And then Durvasa Muni comes, and as the ritual goes, that when you have a guest, you cannot feed yourself without offering it to the guest. And that he was such a caste, he was a very wonderful Brahmana, so as to say, like he was known. He was known for, of course, because his austerity, his everything else, but also for his anger. So nobody wanted to take, nobody wanted to take a risk. So he came and he said, I'll go take bath and come back. And then he goes and he takes very long. So everybody says, why don't you take water? Because if you take water, it is neither you are breaking the fast, and your fast is also broken, and it's not. And at that point he takes water, and then Durvasa Muni gets really mad at him, and he and then he makes a... And then what happens? He gets so angry, and then the Sudarshan Chakra, he creates a fiery, he creates a demon to kill Maharaj Amrish, and then Sudarshan Chakra comes to protect Maharaj Amrish. And if you read Bhagavatam, that pastime, Maharaj Amrish doesn't move at all. He's not worried that I have to take care of myself. He's just there. He's not worried. Because when you are really a devotee, a pure devotee, your well-being is Krishna's responsibility. And it says like, Avashya Rakshive Krishna, that you should have the firm faith that Krishna will definitely protect you. He could have got bewildered that I have been serving Krishna for so long. But now what is Krishna rewarding me after this 1 year of fasting and doing all the services? That he is sending me a demon and a, angry Durvasa Muni. But he was standing still. And then this Sudarshan Chakra kills that demon that created by Durvasa Muni, and then it started chasing Durvasa Muni. Then he goes to Brahma. Brahma says, I can't help. He goes to Shiva. Shiva says, I can't help. He goes to Vishnu. Vishnu says, you committed an offense towards my devotee. If you have committed towards me, I would have forgiven you. But towards a devotee, I cannot help you. But I've heard this from a class, that see how powerful Durvasa Muni was. He could go to Shiva Lok, he could go to Brahma Lok, he could go to Vaikuntha to meet Vishnu. This is how powerful. And then he was still powerless in front of a devotee who was not doing anything. All he had was a staunch faith in Krishna. He had to come back, beg forgiveness from Amrish Maharaj. And Amrish Maharaj felt really, really bad, like a wonderful devotees. They feel bad when somebody says sorry or beg forgiveness. And he says, no. And he says, he requests the Sudarshan Chakra and Vishnu to not harm Durvasa Muni. And he gives all his piety that he got by doing this vrata of Ekadashi for the entire year to Durvasa Muni, and saves his life. So we see, even if so powerful personality like Durvasa Muni had no power to save himself when you offend a devotee of the Lord. So that's why Rai Ramananda is mentioning. Text 73. Bhavantam evanucharanam nirantara, bhavantam evanucharan nirantara, prashanta nihashesha manorathantara, kadahama aikantikanetta kinkara, prahashaishami sanatha jivitam. Translation. By serving you constantly, one is freed from all material desires and is completely pacified. When shall I engage as your permanent eternal servant and always feel joyful to have such a perfect master? Purport. This is a statement made by great saintly devotee Yamunacharya in his Stotra Ratna 43. So what is Rai Ramananda typically is doing? He is introducing the rasa, and then supporting it with referring it for a few more other verses which is mentioned. In different shastras, in different scriptures, he's giving a reference where it is said. If he's saying dasya, he will say why dasya, where it is mentioned, and Prabhupada always talk about, if you are preaching, if you are a devotee, whenever you talk, don't talk whimsically. Whatever you talk, have the substance, have the substitute along enough with other, scriptural reference. Always talk from the scripture and support it with scriptural texts. Don't just say things out of your mind. Don't speculate, don't say, just refer to the text. So here, that's what Rai Ramananda is doing, that he is mentioning other texts to other places where it is being mentioned. Prabhu kohe eho hoy kichu age ar, Rae kohe shakha premo sarbo sadhoshar. So right now Mahaprabhu, he agreed to the servant and master. Now he said, say more. Now he said, Shakha Prem, that is friendship. Translation. Hearing this from Ramananda Rai, Lord again requested him to go a step further. In reply, Ramananda Rai said, loving service to Krishna rendered in fraternity is the highest perfection. So if you see, loving service is common, and what sort of a relationship it will be, that is also on us and also on Krishna and other factors. But one thing is common throughout is that the rasa, 5 rasas we are talking, that the loving service, and the flavor goes on along with it. So the main important thing is the loving service purport. As long as loving service is rendered to the Lord in the master-servant relationship, there is some fear, for the servant is always afraid of the master despite the intimacy of self-interest. In this stage, the servant is always afraid of the master and respectful of him. When the devotee is further advanced, he has nothing to fear. He considers the Lord and himself on an equal level. At such a time, the devotee is fully convinced that Lord Krishna is a friend and cannot at all be dissatisfied if the devotee lives with him on an equal level. This understanding is called Vishrambha. That is devoid of a respectful attitude. So at Vishrambha, there is no respect, as in they know everything, and yet that is not the preliminary thing. Like if you see, the mother of a president knows that this is president, knows he is respectable, this and that, but for her, love is not conquered by that respect. It is more like the parental love, right? Similarly, we'll read about, but this is also somewhat similar. Friends, the friend of a president or a prime minister or somebody very important, for them they know he is a president, but when they meet, they talk in person, in a private place, they will talk like friends. They will not think, okay, this is a president, I should not be saying this or that. So this is what. So here the devoid of a respectful attitude. When this attitude is chosen, it becomes Sakhya Prema, or love of Godhead in friendship. On this stage, there is developed consciousness of equality between the Lord and the devotees. So one thing Prabhupada will be mentioning, that each stage is an advancement of the another. Like there is Sakhya, and then there is Vatsalya, and then there is Madhurya. So one stage is the advancement. So there is something lacking in the previous, and the next one is more and more advanced, like that. 75. Ittam satam brahma sukhanubhutya dasyam gatanam paradaivatena maya shritanam narudarakena darakena sardham vijrihu krita punya punja. Neither those engaged in the self-realization of appreciating the Brahman effulgence of the Lord, nor those engaged in devotional service while accepting the Supreme Personality of Godhead as the Master, nor those under the clutches of Maya, thinking the Lord an ordinary person, can understand that certain exalted personalities, after accumulating volumes of pious activities, are now playing with the Lord in friendship as cowherd boys. Purport: this is a statement made by Sukadev Goswami, Bhagavatam 10:12-11, who appreciated the good fortune of the cowherd boys who played with Krishna and ate with him on the banks of the Yamuna. So this is by Sukadev Goswami. This is Krita Punya Punja. This is a very important verse Prabhupada mentions in his lecture quite many times. Like, it was, to us it may seem like, they were just playing. The cowherd boys, they were just playing. But Sukadev Goswami mentions that how many births of pious activity they had to do to come to this level, to play with Krishna. It is not an easy thing that you just live a regular life, a selfish life, or a karmakandi life, and you just become a associate of Krishna. No, because it is Krita Punya Punja, that many births accumulated pious activity brought them to the place or to the position to be friends with Krishna. And this place, right, in Vrindavan, it's Bhojan Stali. And there is, you will see the plates. I mean, of course, it's carved in the stone, or it's made on the stone. There is a Mataji who keeps telling the story continuously. She stays there, right next behind this place. It's a small temple. And she and another Mataji, they serve this temple. It's mainly that stone. And on that stone, you will see where Krishna and Balaram sat, where where they would keep the water, where they will keep, it's a big place, that like a plate, like it's not exactly a plate, it's curved and niched. And then the Mataji was saying, and then they were scolding us because we went empty-handed. And he said, usually for Krishna they bring fruits and so many things they bring. You came just empty-handed. Jai Jai Shri Radha Kala Chanji. You just came empty-handed. You did not bring any fruits, any food. You are just coming empty-handed. So you should have. Then the Prabhu who took us around, he said, Mataji, they knew, they didn't know it. Next time they will get it. So that's what he was saying. She was saying that you should bring something for Krishna here, for him to honor, because that's what Krishna did. He honored Prasadam there with his friend. And there is a kunda there which is completely dried. I forgot the name of kunda. It has something to do with Indra. It's Indra kunda or something, but it is right there. It is something like when they will eat and whatever will be left, it will go there, the water will go, and then it became a kunda over the period. And that's why Krishna will have his prasadam along with Balaram and other associates. And to do that is what Sukadev Goswami mentioned, that you need lives after lives of piety, accumulated piety. Hearing this is still we are in fraternal relationship. That is the friendship. Friendship we have started. Hearing friendship now. So first we spoke about servant and master, which Prabhupada says there is still a fear that you're scared of your master mostly. And then he spoke about when Mahaprabhu said move ahead, and then he said okay, there is friendship. And hearing this, Mahaprabhu is saying, Prabhu kohe iho uttam age koho ar, raye kohe vatsalya prema sarva sadho sar. Prabhu said iho uttam. Now he is liking it. He's saying uttam means good, nice. Go ahead. The Lord said, this statement is very good, but please proceed even further. Ramananda Rai then replied, loving service to the Lord in the parental relationship is the highest perfectional stage. Before we move ahead with the purport, I was just thinking, he's saying for everything, this is the highest perfection, this is the highest perfection, right? That is also true. There are devotees, there are like even Srila Prabhupada disciples, like Prabhu, I was asking this particular Prabhu, and I said, oh, you like Gopal so much, and he said, I can't live without him. So this question was asked, this is there in the very early Prabhupada memories, maybe video 1, and in the very beginning, Prabhupada was asked by a disciple that, even if we are in this movement, and this movement is mainly about Madhurya, Manjari. Jai Shri Radha Kala Chanji. Jai. So this is the Manjari Bhav. And but there are devotees who likes Ram, Lord Ram, but some they have moved for Narayan and like that. What happens to them? Prabhupada said, no matter whichever Vishnu form they like, they have to take this process of chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra, following the 4 regulative principles. And this is the only way, the bona fide way, the guaranteed way to go back to Godhead. So even if they love Ram, they have to chant. This is Prabhupada's answer. This is recorded in Prabhupada Memories in the very beginning videos, in the very, very starting of the video, it's there. And then if you have the feeling for, like we see even Chaitanya Charitamrita will mention that even Murari Gupta, he was in the mood of Hanumanji. And Mahaprabhu said, just serve, love Krishna, serve Krishna. And then whole night he couldn't sleep because his Lord was Ram. And Mahaprabhu, he loved Mahaprabhu. And he honored Mahaprabhu so much, so he tried. But he couldn't do. And then Mahaprabhu said, that's okay. That's okay. And then Mahaprabhu, for him, Mahaprabhu was Ram. So it is according to the Lord's, I think we read previous verses also, it's there in Bhagavatam also, that Krishna is so merciful. So merciful that, whichever form you want to love him, whichever bona fide form you want to love him, of course he says in Bhagavad Gita that those who worship the demigod are also worshipping me, but avidhi purvakam. I don't remember the entire verse, was this particular phrase, avidhi purvakam. Avidhi, vidhi means bona fide regulations, regulative principles. Avidhi means which is not bona fide. So even if they are worshipping the demigod, Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita that they are doing it, but avidhi purvakam, not in a bona fide way. They are still worshipping me, but avidhi purvakam. So, but if they are serving, if they are worshipping, loving, they are exchanging loving devotional service with any, whether with Krishna or other Vishnu form, that's still acceptable and bona fide. And we are seeing that eventually, So one may think, Madhurya is the best, because Prabhupada will also mention Madhurya is best, but I don't feel that way for Krishna. I feel like a parental, I feel like I like loving Krishna, more like a friend, or some may say parental or a servant. But it's said that whichever relationship you are in, like here, right, in bhautik, in material world, we feel envy if we are not the topmost, right? But in spiritual world, that envy is not there. Even if you are in a servant and master friendship, or even if you are not in conjugal relationship with Krishna, you are still satisfied. Like Mother Yashoda, she doesn't want to become Radharani or Lalita Sakhi. Nobody wants to become somebody else. They are so satisfied, even if we may think, okay, this is not the topmost relationship, but they are so satisfied, they don't want to go for the topmost relationship. They're just happy doing what they're doing. If you are a friend of Krishna, they don't want to be girlfriend of Krishna. If your parents or parental other gopis, they don't want to be the younger gopi, or the younger gopi, they don't want to become the parents of Krishna. So there is no any lacking, like, oh, I wish I was that. That emotion is not there, it's complete. So even if we are reading different stages of loving service, but they are complete in themselves. So I just thought I would mention purport for 76. The stage of loving service to the Lord in parental affection is an advanced stage of love in fraternity. Okay. In the fraternal relationship, there is a sense of equality. But when that sense of equality is advanced in affection, one attains the platform of parental love. In this connection, the following verse is cited from Srimad Bhagavatam 10:846, where Sukadev Goswami voices his appreciation of Nanda Maharaja's and Mother Yashoda's intense love for Krishna. Nanda kim akarod brahman shreya evan mahodayam yashoda va mahabhaga papau yasya stanam hari. Ramananda Rai continued, O Brahmana, What pious activities did Nanda Maharaj perform by which he received the Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna as his son? And what pious activities did Mother Yashoda perform that made the absolute Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna call her mother and suck her breasts? So we are entering into Mother Yashoda and Nanda Maharaj's emotion, mood for Krishna. So we are entering into parental, and then there is one more, but it's only the 8:25. I'll pause here, so if there is any discussion, and we can take that. So I'll pause here, and we'll talk further from next Monday. Please forgive me for mistakes that I have committed, and I have spoken many things that are way beyond my realization. So beg forgiveness. Vancha kalpatarubhyasya kripa sindhuve vacha patitanam pavnebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. If there is any discussion, any correction, please go ahead. Is it working, Prabhu?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Thank you so much for taking the time to delve into this and open up these topics for us to discuss and reflect upon. I really appreciated how you discussed the dynamic of Durvasa Muni going to Vaikuntha, and he went to see Lord Vishnu, and even Lord Vishnu would not forgive him. He said, "I can't do it." So I'm wondering maybe if you could, share. Is this just a pastime of the like? How does one commit aparad against a Vaishnava? Because it's the first offense against the holy name, and then is able to go see Krishna.
Sorry, Prabhu, would you repeat that?
So how is it that someone's able to commit a Vaishnava aparad, and the mad elephant offense, right? And then see Krishna.
As in, like he went to Vishnu, that's what you're saying.
Yeah.
Never heard that, never thought about it, but let's discuss, and maybe we can come to something. One thing is, of course, it's a Leela, and Krishna does the Leela with his topmost devotees. Maybe it's mentioned that Durvasa Muni is, even Maitreya was told that he was not a top, he eventually became, but he was not the topmost devotee. That's when Krishna was giving the instruction, he was giving mainly to Uddhava. It is there mentioned in Bhagavatam, Canto 3. So we know that the sages, they are like wonderful Brahmanas, but may not be at the stage of the Vaishnavas, the topmost. But to make this understanding of the magnanimity of the Vaishnava Aparad, the magnanimity of the position of a pure devotee, Krishna or Vishnu had to let him enter and tell the world. That may not happen with that. I'm sure for myself will not happen with me. If I commit an offense and then I have to go through, I cannot go to Vishnu or even what to talk of Vishnu, can't go to, but he had done so much of piety. He had done so much of piety, right? They do so much of tapasya, Durvasa Muni, because he is just eating this durva grass. That's all, the juice of durva. He doesn't take anything. He has such an austere life. He's an exalted sage. So Krishna had to give him that opportunity, or that, that option to enter. But also, if he wouldn't have, the story wouldn't come together. And then we wouldn't have understood how exalted the position of a devotee. And because Krishna says, I don't know if I remember the verse, that I don't reside in Naham Tishtami Vaikuntha. I do not reside in Vaikuntha. I don't reside with the sages. I reside where the devotees are chanting my name. So wherever my devotees, but to show the how huge, how exalted the position of a devotee. This Leela had to take place. It may not happen with the sadhaka, may not happen with the day-to-day, but this historical story is to make us understand. If he wouldn't have entered Vishnu, we don't know, we might think that maybe Vishnu would have forgiven him, and then maybe he didn't have to come back to. The story remains incomplete from Leela point of view also. The Krishna is all about Leela Madhurya. He is also a lot about Leela Madhurya. So, and then again, I don't know if it is bona fide to say it, again it is Vishnu, not Krishna. Krishna is the source, Vishnu is still an expansion. And also there is a Vaikuntha in this material world, which is the Shirodakshaya Vishnu's abode. The Shirodakshaya Vishnu who is when we say Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh, the Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva, the three, right? The three Guna avatars, that Vishnu is Shirodakshaya Vishnu. Now, as I said, I've never heard or discussed or contemplated upon it. So I'm just saying what is little bit understanding that I have. Nobody told as such, so I cannot tell you this is certain. So the Shirodakshaya Vishnu, right? Shirodakshaya Vishnu is the maintainer of this material world. So that's where he went, is my understanding. And if you see how he is actually not visible even to the demigods. We see this when this world was in trouble. Mother Earth in the form of cow went to Brahma, and they all went to Shirodakshaya Vishnu finally. And Shirodakshaya Vishnu, they prayed at the bank of Shirodakshaya Vishnu, and then he appeared in the heart of Brahma and inspired and said things. So they are not, but Durvasa Muni, he was such an exalted sage, he could go. And I don't know if it answered anything, but as I said, it will be a discussion that, whatever I could think of, that he couldn't see, he committed such a big Vaishnava aparadha, and yet he was seeing the Lord. Mostly, as you were saying it, you yourself said it is for the Leela sake. So, yeah. That's all I could think of, Prabhu. Whatever you could think of. Thank you so much, Prabhu.
Thank you for answering very nicely from different perspectives and angles of vision.
Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. So I just wanted you to all to recite this verse along. This is Antya 12:1. Antya 12:1. Shruyatam shruyatam nityam. Shruyatam shruyatam nityam. Giyatam giyatam mudha. Chintatam chintatam bhaktas. Chaitanya charitamritam. O devotees, may the transcendental life and characteristics of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu always be heard, chanted and meditated upon with great happiness. Jai Srila Prabhupada ki.
Padakamalam Sri Gurum Vaishnavanscha Sri Rupam Shastrajatam सहगना रघुनाथान्वितं त्वं सजीवम् साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवम् श्रीराधा कृष्ण पादां सहगना ललिता श्री विशाखान्वितं च नमो विष्णु पादाय कृष्ण पृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति सिद्धान्ता सरस्वती श्रीवासभानवी देवी गीताय कृष्ण संबंध विज्ञानम दायिने प्रभवे नमः माधुर्योज्जना प्रमाद्य श्रीरूपानुग भक्तिदा नमस्ते गौरवाणी श्रीमूर्तये दीनतारिणे रूपानुगविरुद्धाप सिद्धान्त्यधन्त हारिणे नमो गौरकृष्णाय साक्षात् वैराग्यमूर्तये विठ्ठलं नरश्यामोधे पादाम्भोजाय ते नमः भक्ति विनदाय सच्चिदानंद नामिनी गौरशक्ति समूहाय रूपानंद मरायते गौरयाविर्भावभूमिस्थं निद्यष्ट्या सज्जना प्रिया वैष्णवा सार्वभौमसी जगन्नाथाय ते नमः कल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः कृष्ण प्रेम प्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नाम्नि गौरतिसे नमः पंचतत्त्वात्मकं कृष्णं भक्तरूपस्वरूपकं भक्त्यावतारं भक्त्याख्यं भक्तशक्तिरूपकम् हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधो दीनबंधो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमस्तुते जयतां सुरतौ पंगा मम मंदर्मते गति मत्सर्वस्य पदां भोजो राधा मदन मोहन दिव्यविन्द्यारण्यकल्पद्रुमाधा श्रीमद्रत्नाकारसिंहासनस्थौ श्रीराधा श्रीरगोविन्ददेवौ सेवमानं स्मरामि श्रीमान रासरसारम्भी वंशीवटतटस्थितः कर्षन् वेणुशनै गोपी गोपीनाथ श्रीयेशुरम् सप्त कंचन